Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Tinker Questions Popping series. We're on episode, I believe, 18. And, let's see. For today, oh, this is a good one. I want to talk to you guys about cringe. Yes, the good old, everyone looks back at the things they've done in the past and, yeah, let's just say they wish they could burn everything that happened back then. So I want to talk about cringe because I happen to be a very, reflective person. Nothing that hasn't been established before. And the first thing I usually do, especially when I shower, for some reason, like this happens often whenever I'm in the shower, I just think back to things I've said or done in the past, and almost all of them are related to doing something extremely mortifying, or something that would just elicit a literal physical cringe. And I want to talk to you guys about this because I just want to be, I'm a little curious as to how you guys cope with cringe, because I certainly have no idea how to. I just kind of let it happen. It doesn't impede my ability to function on a day-to-day basis, of course, but it's not pleasant at the same time. I'm just not a big fan of having to remember these moments in the past. For some people, they say they move on from it by just accepting the fact that it happened, there's nothing that can be done about it, and that's how they make peace with it. But for me, I just, no matter how much I try, I always just find myself like, smashing my head against the wall because of how embarrassed I am about those past moments. And you guys know that one aspect of life where they say, the only person who thinks about you as much as you think, or who thinks about you and, or rather as much as you expect, is you. In that chances are the only person who actually thinks about the cringe that you've done in the past is you, and no one else really cares. But if that's the case, why do we still cringe? Because that's always just been something that I've been trying to figure out, is that why do we find ourselves looking back at our past and thinking, oh, this is disgusting, like why did I do this, or this is so embarrassing, or I was such an idiot, or I've made a fool out of myself, right? And the fact that some people, they say, is a means of trying to help people overcome their past, I guess, grievances, is that they get white bags and that's how it makes them feel better. Okay, first white bag of the video. We've been doing pretty emotional roller coaster when it comes to the white bags these past couple episodes, but I'm gonna assume we're gonna get a tomb white, because we always do. Yes, we do. I don't need this many, I think I might just feed them later on. Or UT exchange, I'll just save it for them. A foul, it's not bad. Some people say that a good way to sort of gauge or to like overcome your past traumas, self-induced traumas, I guess, is to tell yourself that the fact that you're simply upset about, looking back at that is a sign of growth, right? Like the fact that you're looking back and you're thinking, oh god, I better hurry, I better hurry, I better hurry, I better hurry, I better hurry. Alright, got it. They say if you look back in your past and you feel embarrassed by it or you feel cringe, it's a sign that you've matured, it's a sign that you've come a long way. And that's true, but why does this still come to haunt you? Like, it just drives me nuts that I just can't seem to, like, ever forget about the embarrassing things I've done in the past. Normally, I'm not really that type of person to dwell on things if it doesn't, like, matter in the immediate sense, but that happens a lot because I don't know, I just, whenever I think of stuff that I've done that made me look like an idiot, and I come up with as many excuses as I can, right? I come up with, I try to tell myself, oh, I was just a kid, I didn't know any better, or, oh, everyone has those edgy teenage phase puberty syndrome or whatever type thing, and like all these things I get to try to create this narrative that it wasn't my fault, that I was just going through the motions like everybody else, right? But it was my fault, everything that I've done, and they say mistakes are what lead to growth, but I'm wondering to myself how many people also struggle with the same sort of thing, because I envy people who have the ability to just never look back, right? And by never look back, I'm not talking about people who just disregard the past, but I'm just saying those who realize that, hey, it happened, it's over, let's move on, done deal, right? And I just wish I can have that kind of mindset, because there are people who bounce back super quickly from botched relationships or super embarrassing fails or really just stuff that they wish they would never hear on the day of their wedding whenever their best mate or, maid of honor does a cheer. or a toast. And yeah, it's just it's kind of I guess some sort of plague that I'll be infected with for the rest of my life, because I think very critically of myself. I'm a very, I guess, self-deprecating person, not to the point where it's depressing, but it's just that I'm pretty hard on myself, as I'm sure a lot of people are. And the fact that I just can't really seem to forgive myself for things, like I know that the story that you tell now, oh well, first let's figure out what orange bag this is. Course, that's okay. It's okay. I mean, we can just get from the squirrels, but at least it's not a pirate hook. The narrative or the story told now is different from the story that you saw when you were experiencing it firsthand at that current point in time, right? I just want to know if you guys have any tips or tricks to like deal with that kind of phenomenon, so to speak, because it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't bother me enough to want, like, you know, to impede on my day-to-day life. But it's just, it really sucks to have to always be reminded of things I've done in the past. And the worst part is that no one cares, right? Like, again, the only person who cares so much about the cringe moments that you've had in your life is probably just you. No one else, it doesn't even cross their minds on a day-to-day basis because they're all worried about dealing with their cringe. But even so, how do I escape my own inner critic, right? Because everyone's their own worst enemy, and for me, it could not be further from the truth. So, I've just been mulling it over for a while, and I'm thinking to myself, like, maybe I can try to trick myself into thinking I'm not as terrible of a person as I once was because I get a bunch of white bags. Which one's this gonna be? Is this a tomb white? It's gonna be tomb white, isn't it? Okay. Why am I getting so many of the same white bags? Like, you guys remember a couple episodes ago, I told you, like, I always get the same white bags, like the same, I always get Sourstone or I always get Kalo. It's like, now instead of Kalo, it's a Pharaoh's Requiem and a Coral Venom Trap every single time. I mean, they're not bad, but just, sheesh, what are the odds? I feel like cringe by itself is not really the issue, it's more the fact that I felt so confident in myself at the time. Like, at the time I didn't think it was cringe, or I was fully aware of the fact that what I was doing, right? And I didn't think it was cringe in any way, but now looking back after just, you know, growing up or having more experience, I'm like, holy crap, why did I think I was being super cool when I just realized I was being super cringe? And that happens a lot during teenage years, especially when you get older, when you finish adolescence, and you look back and like, damn, I was so edgy, or I was so annoying, or I was so cringe, and like, it's endearing in the sense that you have finished the very painful transition from childhood to adulthood, but at the same time, it's also just, you ever wish you could just Back to the Future and then, you know, oh my god. I'm like venting a little bit because I just took a shower before I came in and started recording, and I'm like, dude, why can't I just, like, I accept the fact that it happened, right? But like, come on, just stop reminding me, like, stop having to twist the knife whenever I'm reminded of it, because I just look at it and I groan, like I physically groan whenever I think about it, because I'm like, dude, you don't need to remind me. I already know that what I did was stupid, or what I did was really dumb, and I could just please leave me alone. And it's haunting me in a very, I guess, lighthearted sense, because I told you, once again, I'll reiterate just to make sure that no one thinks I'm depressed or anything. It doesn't bother me on a day-to-day basis. I'm not like crying myself to sleep or anything. It's just that it's so cumbersome to have to deal with over and over again that, like, it's just that little unpleasantry that you wish you could just never have to deal with, right? Like a mosquito or bed bugs or allergies, you know? A good example probably would be my old YouTube videos. And I'm sure all content creators share this exact same sentiment, in that they wish they could just burn all of their previous work, not just YouTube, but artists, especially. I know a lot of my artist friends, like, you know, people who like to draw and stuff, they always look back and they're like, no, don't show me this. This is a disgrace. Like, I brought shame upon my family's name and stuff like that. I'm like, no, you were fine. It was, everyone starts out somewhere, right? But like, I do the exact same thing for my videos. Whenever they go like, oh my god, I used to watch your videos ever since 2015, and I'm like, wait, You watched my really stupid videos, and I'm like flattered but also mortified at the same time because I wish they never knew about those videos, since, like I said, it's not very pleasant to be reminded of the fact that, like, it's just so unfortunate that I'm okay with the fact that it takes, you have to fall flat on your face in order to grow, in order to learn and mature. But the annoying thing is remembering every time you fall on your face and not just being able to move on. Does anyone actually in particular here have any tips or tricks they use? Because I really could use some. There's just one less thing that I would like to not worry about. I think I'm running out of space, actually. We should be almost done, though. You know what I'm most excited for? Goodness, I can't wait for the new vault system because this is so annoying having to like organize all my potions and stuff. And to my knowledge, when the new vault system comes out, I'll be able to have more slots, and the potion vault is going to be super helpful. So I'll be able to free up this entire section of my vault since I can move it to potions. And then I'll also buy more slots in case I ever want to be an even bigger hoarder than I am now. What else? Aside from, again, being the edgy teenager, or, well, I wasn't edgy per se, but I guess when everyone becomes a teenager, they have a more inflated ego of themselves, and it's just, overall, man, good times, good times. It's a mixture of nostalgia, but also cringe, and I like it because it's like that thing that you always make fun of each other over, like when it comes to maybe dinner or if you're having a drink with your buddies and you guys feel like just poking holes in each other's faces. But when you're by yourself and you're being introspective and you're trying to figure out exactly, you know, some metric of your life that really can't be, I guess, acknowledged or analyzed. Okay, I'm losing my train of thought, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use some of these potions while I regain my train of thought, so give me just 2 seconds, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Anyways, you know what would be a really cool but also kind of an asshole thing to do is like if there was some way you can switch your memories with someone for a day and you get to look back at your friend's cringe or your, you know, or your sister's cringe or your brother's cringe or your dad's cringe or mom's cringe. Like, just imagine being able to see someone else's cringe and someone else sees your cringe. Like, would we think of it the same way, or is it like the only reason we think of something as cringy because we did it, right? If someone else explains their cringe to you and you think like, no, that wasn't that big deal, like when an artist cringes at their own work, or when someone looks back at their past and is super embarrassed or horrified by the way they behaved, I wonder, will we still think of it in the same way if we were looking at someone else's memories and not necessarily ours? Like, we might be like, yikes, that's pretty awkward, but do we feel the same way towards someone else's stupid mistakes? Like, maybe it depends on how it was done. Like, if someone does something cringe, you would visibly cringe at them, but are we less critical of others when it comes to their stupid mistakes than we are with ours? The answer is probably yes. Because naturally, I mean, myself, I'm a very, I guess, supportive person in that, ooh, we get a white bag, but it's from the nest and they only have 2, and I just got a stinger today. And I have too many hive masters. Honestly, I don't really care about nest white bags anymore because there's only 2 of them. We'll see what it is, because if it's a stinger, that actually may not be too bad. A hive master helm, there's so many helmets that I have, like I would much rather use the G-Gen or anything else than a bee helm. Alright, we'll find out. Oh, it's a stinger, okay. I don't mind stinger. I think it could use a buff. I really think it could use a buff, but it's better than nothing. Or at least in my opinion, I would prefer it over the hive master. You know, I have a challenge I want to impose on you guys. In the comments section below, write down a cringy story, like something that you cringe, like looking back. I'd love to read it and sort of give my thoughts on it, whether it is deserved to be cringed at or if it isn't. If you feel willing, if you feel open to just share any random story that you have, I would more than be happy to read it and see if it was worthy for public cringe or if it was just you being too critical on yourself. I'm not going to share any of mine because I'm a jerk like that. But I don't know, just like let me know what you feel if you look back, and if you're one of those people who don't look back at, if you're one of those people who doesn't look back at the past and think, oh, why did I do that, or that was so dumb of me, then again, share your secret, because I would love to be able to not have to ever think about stuff like this. I learned my lesson, and so now I would prefer it not to be shoved down my throat every single day. I swear, something about being in the shower just invokes deep thought. Like, that's the whole basis of the Shower Thoughts subreddit. Why do we have such deep and philosophical, or I guess metaphysical thoughts when we're in the shower? I think it just might be because the shower is like the one place where you cannot bring any form of entertainment with you whatsoever. Like, you can't distract yourself with a book, or you can't distract yourself with the internet, you can't distract yourself with relatively anything, so you spend your time in the shower just mulling over to yourself how your life is or whatever, and maybe that's why we run into those issues. But even so, it's just kind of strange that of all the places that we would ever be thinking about such deep and introspective ideas or what have you, it would just be when you're butt naked in the shower. It's so weird. This is a strange topic. This is definitely a strange topic. But we're almost done. I think we should be wrapping up soon. I can't wait for RotMG. Honestly, I find my excitement for the game starting to wane a little bit, and I think it's mostly just because my enjoyment of the game is based on seasons. Like, it's really seasonal. Back in the days of when I was in high school and stuff like that, I would rotate between Fire Emblem, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Minecraft, and stuff like that, and we just go in this cycle, right? So in the winter, I would play Yu-Gi-Oh a lot. In the spring, I would play Pokemon a lot. In the summer, I would play I play Minecraft a lot, and in the fall, I would play Fire Emblem, and it would just go in this cycle. So usually for me, my interest in the game lasts only a season or two, which is probably why I feel like moving on and doing something else, because even MapleStory, I would never really play it any more than maybe a year? Not even a year. Like, I would never play MapleStory for more than 1 or 2 seasons. Because, like, last time I got back into Maple, it was March or so, and then I went through it all the way until about September, and I stopped playing. So maybe that just might be happening for Realm too, although I'm still going to be playing it just because there's nothing else to play at the moment aside from League of Legends and Smash Bros and whatever, so we'll just keep doing that. Anyways, we managed to pick up, I mean, it wasn't bad, it was a decent haul, but it's just I keep getting the same white bags. It's hard to get excited when it's the same things. I guess Feed Power and Fame bonuses. That'll do. Alright, anyways, thanks guys so much for watching. Again, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know your own cringe moments, or let me know if you have any tips to try to move on from it and not beat yourself up over it, because I would love to hear it. But for the rest of you guys, if you enjoyed, a rating would be much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more chest popping videos. Hopefully we can get to 20 by the end of this year or so. I don't know, we'll figure it out. But that's going to be it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon for the next video. Take care.